Hello everyone, welcome back to the Addicted Bookworm. Alrighty, so this is going to be my final video for tonight. This is going to be the reading wrap up for the 14th. I read a total of 5 books this week, all of them on either Kindle or on Nook. I did recharge my Nook, so it's good for another week. I still did not time how long it took it to charge up. Alrighty. So it's time to do what we generally do and wrap up this week's reading. We officially have 2.5 weeks to go before it is the end of the year. So there are people that are buying their horror books or their mystery books or whatever for the new year. And yeah, let's begin. Alrighty, I'm going to start off with the first book that I finished this week. Oh yeah, no, take it back. I think I did 6. Alright, so Killer Christmas. So that was an Emma Wilde holiday mystery. So I don't really know if all of the Emma Wilde books are Kindle Unlimited. This one I got for free. I have it on Nook, but I also have it on Kindle. The one on Nook was free. The one that on Kindle was, I think it was like $1.99 or something like that. I got it so that I could, read it. So, anyways, it is about a woman named Emma who, basically, she's home for Christmas and she meets this fan who absolutely is obsessed over her, and she ends up dead. And Emma really takes it to heart because of how much this woman was really, really looking forward to telling her friends, hey, I met Emma Wilde. Also, she also is accused of killing her as well. I really liked it a lot. I gave it 5 stars because it definitely did earn it. I'm still thinking about that poor scene with that poor woman. But all in all, it was an enjoyable, cozy mystery, and I had fun with it. Alright. Then I finished reading Death of the Neighborhood Scrooge, which was number 16 in the Jane Austen series. I also finished book 1 tonight, but this one was a book that I had picked up, I think it was last year. I don't know if I got it for free or what. But it was basically about this guy who is filthy rich. He's also a Scrooge. People don't like him. Even his housekeeper doesn't like him. And what ends up happening is he ends up dead due to blunt force trauma with a frozen Yule log. We cannot make this up. And anyways, she has to once again figure out exactly who wanted this man dead. And I gave that a 5 stars as well because I thought the concept was interesting. I thought the execution was absolutely fascinating. Alright. Then the next one is what was it? Horror movie. This was the only one This was the only one that I actually owned a physical copy of the book. And just basically it is about this guy. He used to be, he was in this movie called Horror Movie. And basically he's asked to come back and to reprise his role and all that type of stuff. It is definitely not for the faint of heart. It is. I think it's high up there on horror, but I might be wrong. Then I finished Those Across the River. This was a Nook book. This is a book I got from Nook. And it is basically about this guy called Frank and his wife that comes into this town, and he quickly learns that don't go across the river. Well, he doesn't listen. He does that, and that's how the werewolves in this story know that he's there. It is definitely not a book if you do not want to be reminded that America used to have slaves. But also, it is basically, um, it has definitely a lot of like generational trauma, especially for the werewolves, because they can change, even though they glorify that they're like high up there on the food chain. I think deep down they still wish they were human, but that's just my impression. There definitely is heavy use of the N word. Every time that they used it, I wanted the werewolves to kill them. I am not joking. That's how I felt about this book. Um, it's like I said, it's not for people that they like to deny that this stuff happened. But we find out that Frank's ancestor was a werewolf, and he goes and bites Marcus, who in turn bites everybody on the plantation, and they are the pack, and they are immortal because Frank's wife gets bitten and infected, and she stops aging, like at 20, while he is an elderly old man. Then the next one I read was Nightmare at Christmas. Now, the author has released a list of all the books that are coming out, so I'm going to have plenty of Nightmare books to read next year. The last one is going right back to Christmas. So, this is about a guy, I can't remember his name. He is a police officer. He gets infected with lycanthropy, and just like werewolves in those across the river, he can transform at any time during, like, it doesn't have to be the full moon. It is supposed to be a classic werewolf story, but werewolves have traditionally been creatures that transform during the full moon. He goes through a lot of stuff. He loses a lot of, stuff. He loses his wife, his daughter, all of that to what he is and who he attracts as that type of creature. Alright, that was an interesting book to say the least. Alright, and then we have This Pen for Hire. This, of course, is book 1. Just like Death of the Neighborhood Scrooge was number 16. And this was also another interesting one. I did hurry up to get it read because I had Cackle on hold. This is by Rachel Harrison. I enjoyed it a lot. I like the fact is that the author has the ability to totally shock us on who the killer is. She definitely does a great job in the red herring and us not really knowing until the very last page who the killer is. Anyways, alright, so that is my video for tonight. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you guys around.